A woman who was paralyzed after a chiropractor visit gets a new home thanks to a donor. I think this is so crazy and so amazing at the same time. So, the Georgia woman who was left paralyzed and unable to speak after receiving a neck adjustment from a chiropractor has received a new wheelchair friendly home thanks to an anonymous donor. Like, this is such an amazing thing, right? Like, if you were to get to the point where you were so wealthy, so rich, that you see an article where someone was paralyzed because of basically due to no fault of their own, and you're able to gift someone like this, that's crazy. Props to you, whoever you are. So, Caitlin Jensen, 29, had four arteries in her neck dissected after a Savannah chiropractor performed the routine procedure on June 16th, which led to cardiac arrest, a stroke, and traumatic brain injury. After weeks at Memorial Health in Savannah, she was moved to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, where she underwent speech, occupational, physical, and recreational therapy. Which, by the way, this chiropractor better hope they got good insurance. Meanwhile, an anonymous donor bought Jensen a new home in Richmond Hill, WJCL TV reported. But the house required an extensive makeover with modifications to make it fully accessible to Jensen in her wheelchair. So the founder of the nonprofit called Random Kindness Richmond Hill worked to make it happen. See, like, this is so awesome, right? So she got a free house thanks to a very generous donor. But not only that, this nonprofit was willing to help her out. Like, I think that is such an amazing thing. Like, this is a situation where money can really help out someone and improve their situation. So, contractors throughout Richmond Hill and the greater Savannah area have stepped up and donated their time, their labor, materials, and supplies. Amy Barton recently told WJCL. Man, that sucks. Like, imagine if you were just trying to go to the chiropractor, get a little creak fixed, and then all of a sudden you're paralyzed, potentially for the rest of your life. So her nonprofit website says the renovations provided Jensen with an ADA accessible home in which she can prosper and start her next chapter of recovery. And I don't know if this is like a possibility, but I really hope that she is able to regain the majority of her function back. I don't know if that's actually going to be possible in her case, but I really hope she can. The house features a wheelchair accessible ramp, a brand new kitchen, and a music room with a piano that Jensen can wheel up to. This could have happened to anybody. This was a freak accident. The best way to let people know that you care is to roll up your sleeves and do the work, Barton said. Like, man, that's brutal. That's brutal. So, a GoFundMe account set up to help pay for Jensen's medical bills has so far raised over $167,000. That's awesome. We've been blown away by the support and very appreciative because we do have a very long road ahead of us. It helps to know those funds are there for her needs because we don't even know what all of her needs are going to be yet, said her mom, Darlene Jensen. Yeah, that's pretty true because the thing is, like, who knows really what she's going to have to deal with? Who knows what they might have to hire to help her out with, right? Like, how many times are they going to have to maybe hire like an in-person nurse to come check her out? Like, it's going to be expensive. Like, her recovery is going to be very expensive. So Jensen, who graduated from Georgia Southern University in May 22, lost her pulse for 10 minutes before doctors revived her and rushed her into surgery, placing a stent in one of the arteries. Crazy. And you can see her trying to like go through physical therapy. Nothing on that one. It's okay that I fell. One thing's for sure, I do hope that she stays strong through this because I mean, it's got to be hard for someone to like be having like a certain lifestyle beforehand and then a complete 180 of a switch as to how she was living her life. Like imagine if you were just walking normally like a week ago and then all of a sudden you can't walk or speak really. Like how do you even deal with that like mentally? Well, that's a pretty nice house too. Wow. Wow. Nice inside. Okay, this is pretty awesome. They really did deck this house out in terms of like her actually being able to use it properly, which is nice. So they believe she suffered a stroke as a result of the neck adjustment, her mom has said. And the young woman is able to respond to verbal commands by blinking and giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but is unable to move the rest of her body, according to her GoFundMe page. Inside Edition was given a tour of the new home, where Jensen used a voice tablet to tell the news outlet, "I'm definitely lucky to be alive." Wow. I mean, to even be like looking on the brighter side of the situation, they're like, oh, like I'm basically happy that I'm alive. That's a pretty awesome thing. Like it kind of shows that her mindset's pretty good. I think she's gonna get through it. I think she's gonna be able to deal with it. I just hope that long term, that maybe she'll get like 80, maybe 90% of all of her functions back. I really hope that. But one thing for sure, props to whoever donated that house. Because one, not many people would be willing to do that, even if they did have the money. So props to you, whoever you are. Props to the nonprofit for decking it out to really make it accessible for her. Both of those entities are pretty awesome. So, for those that can't bother doing a little research, chiropractors don't hold an MD, so they aren't medical doctors, but they graduate with a Doctor of a Chiropractic degree. They do have extensive training in chiropractic care and are licensed practitioners. Chiropractors begin their education by getting an undergraduate degree with a focus on the sciences. After graduation, they move on to a 4-year chiropractic program with classes and hands-on experience. In all states in the United States require that chiropractors obtain a Doctor of Chiropractic degree from a Council on Chiropractic Education or CCE accredited college. And the thing is, like, I bet you that this lady probably was watching one of those like YouTube videos of those chiropractors cracking the necks and back of their patients that for some reason all the time every single video that involves a chiropractor ends up having a young beautiful lady with a booty. Like for some reason they're just always there, for the clicks, right? But I bet you she probably watched it. It was like, you know what, let me go try it, and then it just happens. So that sucks. That really sucks. Thumbs up to all the people that were able to help her get the house. She's an inspiration to many, I'm sure. One day at a time, girl. No such thing as routine adjustment that destroys a person's life. I would never go to a chiropractor ever. Not nearly enough to conclude that one adjustment severed 4 arteries. Notice no lawsuit, and I'm sure the doctor didn't have to pay her anything except for her poor reputation being run through the mud. Let's see. Great news for her, such a sad story. Awesome. Thanks to the kindness of the anonymous donor, that poor woman. God bless her. There is kindness in this crazy mix up world after all, but those stories are few and far between. Guess people are more interested in the everyday divisive filth. The thing is, like, I stumbled upon this and I just thought that this was amazing. Now, obviously, not her basically losing pretty much all of her functions, but the fact that when something bad happened like this, there was people out there that exist that were able to, one, donate a house, two, deck that house out so that she could actually use the house herself when she gets more functions available back to her, and also the people that dedicated the supplies and the time involved in the whole thing. My heart breaks for this poor young woman, and I want to break that chiropractor into pieces. Okay. Feel free to give your thoughts on this. I just thought this was a pretty awesome story. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and learn how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below. Either way, stay tuned for more financial commentary.